What's good, everybody? My post-fight thoughts for last night's fight between Paulie Malignaggi and Adrian Broner. And I learned a lot from this fight about Adrian Broner. And let's get into it now. This was supposed to be a fight where Adrian Broner was going to go in there and destroy Paulie Malignaggi. Paulie Malignaggi was supposed to have no chance in hell against Adrian Broner. Adrian was going to go in there, leave him bloodied, battered, and beaten, and possibly knocked out. That's what most people thought was going to happen in this fight. Now, I knew that the fight was going to be a little bit of a different look for Adrian Broner because Adrian Broner hasn't been in there with any skilled boxers his entire fucking career from what I've seen. I haven't seen all 25, 26 of his fights, but I've probably seen his last 10 or something like that. And he's been in there against flat-footed competition. So I knew this was going to be a little bit different for him, and I wanted to see how he was going to handle it. And based off of what I seen last night, he doesn't handle it very well at all, man. You know, he barely won this fight by the skin of his teeth. I scored the fight 116 to 112 for Broner. But, you know, after watching the fight a second time, I saw that there was a lot of those rounds that Paulie Malignaggi could have gotten the benefit of the doubt in. There was a few of those rounds in there like that where Paulie was more active, especially the first 2 minutes of the round, and then Adrian Broner came and landed a few hard shots towards the end of the round, and that's why I gave those rounds to him. But, you know, if you're a judge, it just depends on what you're looking for, and those rounds could have gone to Paulie Malignaggi as well. So he barely won this fight, man, against the guy who was known as the weakest link for the champions at 147 pounds. And he barely fucking won. And this is supposed to be the next big fucking thing. He's supposed to be the next Floyd Mayweather. And I'm going to ask you, Broner Knights, this, okay? What do you think Floyd Mayweather would have did last night to Adrian Broner? I mean, to Paulie Malignaggi. What do you think would have happened? What fight would we have witnessed last night if it had been Floyd Mayweather in there with Paulie instead of Adrian Broner? It would have been a completely different fucking fight. It wouldn't have even looked fair. And it would have been the joke that the fight between Broner and Malignaggi was supposed to be. That's what would have happened. So these Floyd Mayweather comparisons, this is another example to show us how ridiculous the comparison is. Okay, these guys fight nothing alike. Floyd Mayweather doesn't just stand there while his opponent wells away at his body several fucking punches at a time and not even throw one single fucking counter punch. Okay, Floyd would have threw a counter uppercut every time Paulie Malignaggi tried to throw those little flurries to the body like he was doing. Okay, he out-jabbed Adrian Broner the first half of the fight. The only thing that Paulie didn't do right was he went out there and he was a little bit too active the first half of the fight, and he ended up losing some steam. And we saw that around the sixth round where Adrian Broner started to pick it up a little bit and started to catch him. But we saw that he was only doing this because Paulie was starting to gas out. Okay, if Paulie Malignaggi, if his conditioning was up to par, he would have beaten Adrian Broner last night. Adrian Broner caught a break from Paulie's gassing out the way that he did. I mean, he really did get lucky that happened to him because he was getting outboxed. And I think that it's a bad thing for us as boxing fans, what happened last night, and I'm going to tell you why, especially if you were putting your money on Adrian Broner being the next big thing, because now I believe that we're all going to be annoyed now because his handler saw what happened last night. And we all know the patterns of what they do with these guys that they're trying to build up as stars and shit and pad their records up and make sure that they go into fights that they can definitely win. So based off of last night, it's bad for us as boxing fans because now we know his handlers are going to keep him away from fucking boxers. We're not going to see Adrian Broner in there with any pure boxers anytime fucking soon. So forget about Timothy Bradley. Forget about Devin Alexander. Forget about Keith Thurman. Forget about any boxer from 140 to 147 getting a shot against Adrian Broner because we're not going to see it. They're going to put him back on the flat-footed opponent plan. I'm telling you right now, and it's going to suck for us as boxing fans because we're going to start seeing where a lot of the matches that we want to see badly aren't going to fucking happen. Okay, they're going to come up with excuse after excuse not to make these fucking fights happen that we want to see. And I believe that that's the plan that Adrian Broner is going on, man. I really do, because this wasn't supposed to happen to him last night. Okay, the only thing he did last night was rejuvenate Paulie's career a little bit and make himself look more vulnerable. And that shit that he did after the match was stupid, man. It was childish, petty, bringing up this fucking hood rat after the match is over already. You know, it was a cool little entertaining bit, you know, going into the fight. But once the shit is over, we don't want to hear about this fucking broad no more, man. Take her and go on and do whatever the fuck you got to do with her. We don't care about that shit, man. We're more concerned about why you didn't win this fight as convincingly as you had us all gassed up to believe. That's what I was interested in after the fight. Not about this fucking broad and shit. So I think that Adrian Broner will probably go back down to 140 because it's going to be hard for him to do his little duck jobs at 147 pounds. So I think that the flat-footed competition for him will be down at 140. I believe that that's where he'll go. He's probably going to try to fight Maidana if he doesn't do that at 147, which I believe that's a fight that he can win. But like I said, don't expect to see him in there with any pure boxers because those guys can fucking beat him, man, especially Timothy Bradley. I'll put my money on it right now that if Adrian Broner was to fight Timothy Bradley, he would get embarrassed and outboxed and beaten, man. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but that's just the way I feel based off of what I've seen, man. You know, he's just standing there talking and shit. You know, while Paulie Malignaggi is scoring points, he's standing there talking to him, talking about it doesn't hurt. Well, I mean, who gives a shit, man? You're getting outboxed. You're getting outpointed right now. We don't want to hear you talking about, you know, I don't feel shit and this doesn't hurt. We don't care about that, man. This is boxing. Okay, we knew that Paulie Malignaggi wasn't a power puncher going into the fucking fight. So we don't need you to remind us that these punches are not hurting you. We knew that was going to be the case already. Okay, we were interested in seeing the boxing skills of Paulie Malignaggi and see how you were going to deal with that. And we see that that didn't go fucking well. You know, so cut it out with the Floyd Mayweather impressions and all these comparisons with Floyd Mayweather because two completely different fighters. Paulie Malignaggi, I think, irritated Adrian Broner several times in this fight. Adrian Broner does not know how to keep his cool when things aren't going his way the way Floyd Mayweather can. See, when Floyd Mayweather is having some problems in the ring, he's never going to show that shit in his face at all. You know, and you could just see the frustration all on Adrian Broner's face last night, the first half of the fight, because he wasn't able to hit he wasn't able to hit Paulie Malignaggi as much as he planned to do because the movement of Paulie Malignaggi kept him off fucking balance. He was frustrated, man, throwing knees and throwing weird punches and trying to punch off the break and do a whole bunch of dirty tactics and shit. You know, Floyd Mayweather doesn't do shit like that, man. You know, that shows you right there the difference between the two fighters. Okay, Adrian Broner cannot keep his cool, and I believe that if he gets in there with a very skilled boxer that has some pop in their punch, he's going to have a terrible fucking time, and he's going to be frustrated, and he's going to be taken off his game plan. See, that's a sign right there that he can be taken out of his game plan because he gets frustrated when things aren't going his way. But that's my little thoughts on the fight. Adrian Broner, I think he should go to 140 and fight some of the fights that we want to see there because I think those are more winnable fights for him than the fights at 147 pounds right now. Unless he's just going to duck everybody good and just cherry pick opponents here and there, you know, at 147 like Maidana and other flat-footed fighters. But if he's going to fight the flat-footed fighters, the guys that are more stationary and still fight some exciting fights, I think 140 will probably be the place for him. So you guys leave your comments. Let me know what you think. What about Paulie Malignaggi? What should he do? I don't think that he lost any fans at all in this fight. I think he may have even gained some fans after this fight. So can he put himself back in the mix again? I don't know. I don't think so, but we'll see. All right, I'm out. Peace.